I only got one and two and $3. Come trip in so we can buy a Corona. Hurry up, cause nighttime is coming. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tears of sorrow. It's hard for you to move on now. Tell me who's that girl standing over there? Yeah, shawty with the long brown hair. Yeah, dancing on the floor. With that uros and pump, we can make a great pair. Homebody, but when I come around, you know it's going down. I can teach you how to spin with this kind of etiquette. Bottoms up and let it in. I only got one and two and $3. Come tripping so we can buy a Corona. Hurry up, cause nighttime is coming. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tears of sorrow. Baby, come here and forget your sorrows. Cause I know it's hard for you to move on now. Now you swaying and you feeling on my body. Baby, don't be shy, it's only us and nobody. Yes, you and me. We can go through the night cause we are wild and free. Homebody, but when I come along, got your head banging and you singing this song like, come Mr. Tellyman, telling me banana. They like, come make me wanna go home. I only got one and two and $3. Come tripping so we can buy a Corona. Hurry up cause nighttime is coming. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tears of sorrow.
Ayan, wala tayong mic. Hello everyone, you are watching again the Primo Modelo TV online channel, and yes, thank you so much to all the people who are supporting, unending support, watching this, and also stay tuned with us for every update. And we're a couple of days before it's 2021. Congratulations to everyone. You did your best kahit na maraming nangyari. The world stopped this year, and I hope 2021 will be a better year for everyone and all of us. Yes. And anyway, before I forget, once again, my name is Miya Gusi, and I'm your host for this evening. And I will be joining together with another new special guest for today. And yes, but before I present them to you, I would just like to give thanks to all the partners, the family of Primo Modelo family. Thank you so much to Coach Nela Salon and Spa, to Miss Tina Paulite for unending support to Primo for all these years. Thank you so much. And also, maraming salamat. Curve Production Incorporated, you did well today's event for your preliminary activity for the Miss Glamaluk Australia 2020 and Mrs. Glamaluk of the Year Australia, 2020. All right, guys, before that, to all who are living in Sydney, Australia, and if you ever you are watching today, please do catch live the event for the final night of the Miss Glamaluk Australia and the Mrs. Glamaluk of the Year Australia. Here are the candidates. They are the final candidates who will be competing this year and vie for the title of the 2020th edition. Here is the Miss Glamaluk Australia, and if some of them are watching today, some of the candidates, the directors, the pageant coach, and also the president and vice president of the Crow Production Incorporated, I wish you good luck and a successful event for this 2020th edition. Keep safe, everyone. And also catch them live featuring the Little and Teen Glam Australia. All right. They are crowning the winners for the Little and Teen Glam Australia, who will be representing the country in the upcoming Little and Teen Glam International 2021. So keep us updated. Stay in touch with us. Follow our page, Little and Teen Glam International. And also, guys, as you can see on our ticker below, we're going to be joined together with another new special guest this evening, this Sunday, December 20, 2020, will be another new live episode. And I think this is gonna be my last live here on Primo Modelo TV for this month because I will be resting. I have some errands because the Little and Teen Glam Philippines 2020 is fast approaching. So please stay tuned on December 28th, their final night premiere video, December 28th, 5 p.m. onwards, on their official Facebook page, Little and Tingkan Philippines, and here on Primo Modelo TV online channel. And hello to Miss Celine Ramagubat. Hello, Miss Celine. Ayun, yes. On December 23, the Little and Teen Glam Australia will be crowned. Yes. And ayan. Yes, 23 pa po ang crowning. So please do stay tuned, guys. And I hope you enjoy. Keep safe and please do your safety health hazard or whatever it is. Wear your mask, wear your face shields, gloves, or whatever. Bring always your sanitizers and alcohol and keep safe. Anyway, guys, I think my favorite guest here on Primo Modelo TV is up today. It's 5 minutes before 8 p.m. here in Manila, Philippines. Good evening, mabuhay everyone. You are watching Primo Modelo TV based in Manila, Philippines. And now our special guest will be Mariel PRION, the Miss Teen Glam International 2020, featuring our special lady here, Miss Teenager South Africa 2020, that is Leandre Matthews. And that will be 5 minutes before it's 2 p.m. in their country. And hello to Miss Celine Gubat Singh from Sydney, Australia. All right, guys, please welcome Mariel PRION. Hello, Mariel. Good evening to you.
Everyone.
All right. How is your Christmas season?
It's all right. Still at home.
Still at home. Do you have any plans on this upcoming weeks, Mariel, for your celebration of Christmas? What are your plans?
We're having a Noche Buena at home on 25.
Wow.
And on we'll have our brunch together.
Oh yes, I won't forget that. I think it's gonna be my third time going out. Oh no, fourth time in this since lockdown started. So I'm excited to see you again, Mariel, your family, and everyone else who will be together with us on our brunch.
Yeah.
Wow, breakfast and lunch. Mukhang matagal-tagal na usapan yan, ah.
In one.
Hindi naman. Alright. Kasi bawal ata magpagabi. Kasi 24 is Noche Buena na, no? Alright. Anyway, while we're waiting for our special guest, Leandre Matthews, let's talk about Mariel. And there's only 7 days. No. 8 days before your turnovering of your crown and title for the next Miss Glam Philippines 2020. How do you feel right now?
Emotional, anxiety. I want to cry. I want to laugh. I want to smile. Mixed emotions.
Yeah.
Because the reign is coming to an end as Miss Teen Glam Philippines. But I'm just so excited for the next queen.
All right. Okay, let me ask you, Mariel, what is your update? How is it gonna be? Is it also virtual?
Oh yes, the turnover will also be virtual. And yesterday we finished our day 2 of filming for my final walk, and tomorrow is day 3 of the taping day.
Okay, so that's wow. So you're on your preparation for your final walk video. I hope everyone could watch this on December 28th, 5 p.m. onwards, guys. Please do stay tuned on Primo Modelo TV Facebook page and YouTube channel. And also, it's gonna be live on the official Facebook page, of course, of the Little and Teen Glam Philippines. All right. I guess our special guest is having trouble with entering her the link in the stream. And she said she sent the link to her mom's phone as I'm using her. Alright guys, ito na nga ba ang sinasabi ko, nawawalan na ako ng internet. Alright. Okay, Mariel, hello there. Okay, Leandra said she's having a trouble with entering the link, but I already sent her the new one. Okay, let's go back to you, Marielle. And now it's just a couple of days. It's the end of your reign, but I think your advocacy, your duty as a queen still continues as you grow old, as long as you want to be part of it. And how do you feel now, Marielle? What can you say that there's only about 2 weeks, no, before 2021? What are your plans, pala?
For the first question, I feel grateful that we're making it to the end of the year because it's been so hard for all of us. And just imagine being on quarantine for a very long time. And I know that all of us have been through tough things, and I know that deep down we're all wanting to go back to the way things were. But for me, I believe that 2021 will be a brand new chapter for all of us, a brand new beginning. And instead of going back to the old normal, why can't we create a better one for all of us? And I've actually read a quote that says, all of us wants to return to normal, but during this time, think of the things that are worth rushing back to. And I guess that will become my new year resolution, that in approaching 2021, I want to make sure that for the next year, I still want to continue on my advocacy and at the same time focus on my studies and return to some of the normal stuff that I've been doing, like bonding with friends
Yep.
and family. What I will give up in my past normal life is how I used to consume plastic. I want to become an eco-friendly lifestyle. I want to have that kind of lifestyle now. And that is something I want to change and carry with me for the next couple of years. And what's
All
the second question
right.
again?
Mm-hmm.
My plans for next year?
Okay. Yes, yes. What my question is, what are your plans next year? Whether it will be still this kind of situation, or we're going to get back to normal. So what are your plans as a beauty queen and as well as a young adult?
Yeah, I know, right? Because in 7 weeks, I will turn 20. I will no longer be a teen, but I will still carry the title of Miss Teen Glam International, and I'll be waiting for the coronation night of the
Mm-hmm.
internationals to pass on my crown. But next year, if things will still
Mm-hmm.
stay the way they were, I'm planning on inviting more of my friends, more of my sister queens to join
Mm-hmm.
a live chat interview so that they can also introduce their advocacies and we can talk about a lot of things even if we are
Yeah.
separated physically. So I'm very excited for that. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm a friend from Brazil.
Okay. All right, that was wonderful. Yes, so you are planning for a virtual duties as a beauty queen. Yes, I think that's nice, Marielle, because going online and also using the internet is so accessible anywhere. We can now connect to each other. So I'm
Yes.
thankful that internet and these gadgets, cell phones, cameras are introduced to us young generations. But anyway, let's go back now to the main topic of this live episode, guys. I now present to you our special guest. I think she is fantastically ready. Please welcome the Miss Teenager South Africa 2020, Leandre Matthews. Hello, Leandre.
Hi.
Good afternoon, or should I say good evening?
Yes, how are you today?
I'm good, and how are you?
I am totally good. Yes, and also Mario.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Mariel.
Hi. So great
Okay,
to see
I heard. Yeah, I heard you guys just met online and you became friends. So I'm later on we're going to talk
Yes.
about that, how you came to know each other. But first of all, please, Leandre, introduce yourself with us first.
Hi, everybody. My name is Leandrie Matthews. I'm 18 years old. I'm from South Africa, and I'm from the beautiful city, actually the mother city of South Africa, which is Cape Town in the Western Province. Um, I matriculated last year. So
Mm-hmm.
currently I'm not studying, but I will be studying next year at Stellenbosch University. I will be doing a BA in Language and
Mm-hmm.
Culture, and I want to become a speech
Wow.
language and hearing therapist.
Wow. Hey, Leandre. I can see that you do
just having
love languages. And anyway, can I ask how old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
she's having slow internet
I'm
connection
18.
problems.
I know. I'm 18
Oh
years
my
old.
god. My internet connection. My internet is in danger. All right. Do you hear me guys now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I think she's having slow internet connection right now.
All right. 18 years old. So you're in the future you're going to go for pursuing the language in the university. Languages, study of language as well. And anyway, I have one more thing to ask to you guys, Mariel and Leandre. Um, do you hear me, guys, clearly?
Yes,
Yes, I do.
we can hear you.
Oh my god! Wait, I will re-enter the stream. Wait. All right.
She's struggling with her internet connection. But
Okay,
anyways,
no
how are
problem.
you?
I'm good. I'm alive and I'm well, and I think that's more important throughout this year. How are
That's
you? How have you been?
doing well. Been very occupied lately with my studies and also
Hello,
eating.
guys. I'm back. Sorry.
It's okay.
I, I told you I'm going to have this trouble with my internet. But anyway, I hope you bear with me and I hope you are hearing what I'm saying and my questions. Anyway, let's go back to what Leandre and Marielle is sharing today. Go ahead, guys.
Would you like to share with us how many language you have learned?
How many languages I've learned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so since I was 7 years old, I started learning Spanish. My grade 4 teacher, she actually introduced me to the language, in actually our entire class. So she made a rule where we would learn a language each week, and every morning we greet each other in that language. So I think that's when my interest really, really built up. So I learned Spanish when I was in grade 4, when I was 7 years old, and then when I went to high school in grade 8, I started
Mm-hmm.
learning Portuguese. It was a subject at the school actually, so it was only for grade 8 to grade 9. So I decided to take it more as an extramural, instead of just not continuing instead. So I did Portuguese for about 5 years. And then then I also learned some Dutch, a little bit of French, and then currently the Filipino language, Tagalog. So I'm really, really excited. Mariel's a very good teacher. So she's just been teaching me the basics, and I really enjoy it.
I've been teaching her some Tagalog words, the basics like magandang umaga, magandang hapon, salamat, walang ano.
But
And
can
that's
I ask you, Leandre? Okay, can I add up on this, Marielle, since you asked her about the languages she is starting to study? Why did you choose this kind of passion, like studying different languages and being passionate to know more about it? Why did you choose that?
The reason why I'm so interested in learning a lot of languages, when tourists come to us in South Africa, they make it their mission to learn English so they are able to communicate with us in case they are lost, so they are able to communicate and we are able to understand them. So myself learning other people's languages, for me, I show a sign of respect to that country. And just, I will know, then I know I can actually communicate with the country, and I could also like make sure I know I am being understood as well by the people, so I can find my way in certain places. But I think it's mainly because of respect, because if they can take the time to learn our language, English, we can take the time to learn their language and sign of respect.
Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, I totally agree with you because also I just want to share this one. I also love learning languages, but unfortunately, I only have the chance to study it.
another internet connection issue. Wait, so it's just us again. So tell me about your platform. I saw your Instagram and you were I saw your Instagram the other day and you were the founder an, of a platform. Can you tell us more about that?
All right,
Yes.
sorry,
Okay,
I'm
so
back.
I decided to create my own program that falls under my campaign called Overcomer. And this program is called Her Story #Arise and Shine. So it's mainly based for women, but I'm thinking of actually changing it and calling it Our Story. So it's for everyone, and we're not just like being biased or anything like that. So we're opening it out to everyone. And what I do within that program, I just interview a lot of ladies about their past experiences and how they overcame their situation. So I interviewed a lady who had breast cancer while she was pregnant, and I also interviewed an environmentalist scientist about the environment and what we do that creates a huge impact without ourselves even knowing. So I feel like it's very, very important for women to be heard, especially now in this time. Like in my country, it's very prevalent because of gender-based violence. So it's almost like our voices aren't really heard, and it's not really seen. So just using my program, my platform that I created for women to actually just raise their voices and just share what they feel they are most passionate about.
All right, that was nice. All right, and also I want to ask you this one, Leandre. You are about to have your finals for the Miss Teenagers South Africa 2020 by December 21. Am I right, Marielle?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
actually, the pageant was actually postponed till next year due to COVID-19. So obviously, we just have
Yes.
to respect the restrictions made by our president, and
Yeah.
just doing it next year instead, so that no one is really affected with the virus, and just also just keeping everyone safe. I think that's the main reason why they decided to postpone it.
Mhm. So is Miss Teenager South Africa your first pageant?
Yes, it is. It's my very first pageant. I'm really, really excited.
I didn't know that. I thought you were your second or third time to join. And I actually love
No,
the way you speak. You're very articulate with the
thank you so
language.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I decided to do this pageant this year because I always say I was always once a pageant fan before I was a pageant contestant, which starting from this year. And I knew from a very young age that there would be a time for me to inspire others. And I really took that initiative and I took it to heart because I actually wanted to do pageants before, but I think I felt a bit insecure about myself. I thought maybe I'm not ready for this. Am I ready to really take a platform on by myself? So like, a lot of things go through your mind when deciding to do a pageant. So I just decided, what, why not go for it. Because the greatest thing come from things from our comfort zone and where we are actually afraid of. So
Okay. And also one more question, Leandre. Since it's your pageant will be moved next year because of the COVID-19, can you tell us more about the pageant? What advocacy does
Yeah.
it support, and what kind of activities are you running into? Yeah.
excuse me, can you just repeat the question?
I was just asking if
Oh
you
yes,
can tell
sure,
us more.
sure. I'm really sorry because my internet is down, but do you hear me
No
now?
problem. Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Can you repeat the question
Okay.
quickly?
So I will repeat the question, Leandre. Sure. Can we ask about your pageant, the Miss Teenager South Africa? What is it all about? What advocacy does it support? And what activities are you into today?
Okay, so the Miss Teenager South Africa organization is all about motivating young girls to aspire or just empower young girls. So girls empowering other girls. And I think their main motive is definitely inspiring the next generation of girls heading up. Um, and the advocacy, I think it's more or less almost everything, but mainly with women empowerment. So as
Mm-hmm.
finalists, we can stand for anything with our advocacy. So we can stand for the environment, or we can stand, like for instance, I stand for health education, or you can stand just for education on its own. So they actually open the platform to
Mm-hmm.
all of us just to talk about what we feel most passionate about, and not just limiting to us, okay, you have to talk about the environment only, for instance. So they really want to see what each finalist can bring to the table. And the activities I'm most excited for within the pageant, I think when we do the finals next year, I think I'm most excited for the ramp walk, because it's something that's more fun, and you can actually show who you are.
Yeah. All right. So you're practicing your catwalking and your pageant walk.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Then
almost every
maybe
single
Marielle
day.
could give some tips. Mm-hmm.
A pageant walk tip.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. All
Well,
right. So
actually,
she lost. She accidentally exited the stream link, but anyway, let's go back into it. Okay, so Marielle, so really love the advocacy and the plans of the pageant. It's all about empowerment, not only for kids but also for women like us, young adult who are experiencing some like okay, ayun nakalimutan ko siya. Well, kasi eto na, yan, nawawala tayo ng data. Alright, guys.
but she's
Let's
waiting for
welcome again Leandre Matthews. Hello.
Hi.
guys.
Sorry, I had a bit of a connectivity issue.
It's alright.
Yes,
We're
it's
all
alright.
working.
We're just the same. Yes. Okay, let's go back to your story. How about you, Mariel? What advice would you like to give Leandre for her preparation, especially the catwalking? You know, the
Alright.
catwalking is very important thing and factor to all the pageants around the world. So maybe Mariel can give some advice and tips or anything else. Yeah.
Well, sure. For a pageant walk, number one, always do your stretching. Always do your stretchings before you actually do your walk. It's for the best actually to do stretchings like leg stretchings with your arms, the whole body, because it's not just your legs
Mm-hmm.
that will move, but it requires your entire body. Actually, your
Mm-hmm.
arms and the way you stand, it should be straight. And always listen to your coach. Even if his or her instructions are going to be difficult, in the end, it all be worth it. And bring water with you. Take a break from time to time. Do not overwork yourself. And if you feel like you
Okay.
want to rest for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you can always tell your coach. And lastly, practice makes perfect. So just practice,
Yes,
and
definitely.
every time that you're out there in the studio, look at yourself in the mirror, compare on how you stand, and make sure that your coach will instruct you with things that will be really helpful for you. And the way I did that is each time that he would give me a criticism or something that I should improve on, I'm going to accept that. And instead of feeling that, oh no, I'm wrong again, don't think that you're wrong because it's part of the process. Just learn from it and eventually you'll get there.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
okay to make mistakes, right?
Yes,
And
definitely.
don't forget, do not ever compare yourself to all the ladies out there because we all
True.
have our own uniqueness, our own personality and beauty. Anyway, let's go back to Leandre and Mariel. Can I ask, guys, how did you came up to know each other? And it's not possible to meet up. And so, can you tell us how did you meet each other?
Through
Mariel, you want to
Instagram.
go first? Yeah, Instagram. I think Mariel followed me first. At first,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't usually follow people immediately. Sometimes it's always the last thing on my mind. Just try to post what's necessary, and then I'm off Instagram. But then I don't know, something came over me. I just kept going to your profile, and I was just like,
Oh
wait, this is
really?
Miss Teen Glam Philippines 2019 and Miss Teen Glam International 2020. I'm like, what am I doing? Let me just follow and see what happens. And then what happened was, I think Mario, you posted a video of your journey so far. And then I commented underneath by the comment section, and then I put the hot eye emojis. And then you said thank you. And then I think from there, that's when we started to chat and
Oh
officially,
yeah.
introduce ourselves.
Well, I actually saw your photo on Pageant Planet because you tagged that account, and I was like scrolling down their feed. I
Really?
was looking at tag photos of other queens, and then I saw yours. I'm like, who's this? And then I checked it, and I saw you're from South Africa, and then I said, oh my gosh, I have lots of friends from Africa as well. So I followed. So that's how I found your
Well,
account,
I'm glad you
Pageant
did.
Planet.
Yes, I'm glad you followed me. Actually, I have a Filipino friend. Yay!
I know, right? So how's the language? The Filipino language.
The what language?
The Filipino language. How is it? Is it hard to get to know?
So from next week, yes, so next week I'm actually gonna start learning now that I have enough time due to the pageant being postponed. But I really have fun with it. I think I already started researching and getting a bit of PDFs with all the translation, exactly how you have to say it, like vocabulary wise. And I'm really, really excited to tackle the language like I do with all the other languages I've learned so far.
That's great. And maybe next year we can speak in Tagalog together now. Maybe around next year.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I
Nothing
think
is
I like
happening.
that. Yes. No problem.
It's
And
okay.
how's the Philippines, in 2020? How is it going there?
Well, it's been hard as well because our quarantine started last March. And of course, all of my activities got
Yeah.
postponed, got rescheduled to next year. And we're only allowed to go out for a few times, and we are doing social distancing. But we're still being hopeful that hopefully next year everything will be better with the vaccines, and then we can go back to the way things were. How about there? How's in
Yeah.
South Africa?
I think South Africa, I think we are okay, but we're also not okay. Because I think when we had the nationwide lockdown in March, I think there was a lot of fear instilled in people. People still have fear right now. And I mean, I understand it's a pandemic and we really have no control over it. So I think right now, if I can say, I think our country is just starting to recover because economies are slowly opening up. Obviously, with the basic restrictions like wear your mask, sanitize, make sure you social distance. And I think it's just the general things that we just have to keep in mind with the pandemic. If we continue wearing our mask, using sanitizer, and keeping a social distance, I think we are able to just prevent the pandemic from getting even worse. Because if we all play our part, then we'll just see change happening even faster than we see now.
Yeah, but there are still people out there who doesn't believe that there is a pandemic. There are non-believers of the COVID-19 virus. So what can you say about that?
Well, I know
Yeah.
for a fact, I know the pandemic is something common to a common flu. So if I see it as a common flu, I'd actually treat it like it's a common flu. It's just like the normal sneezes, the coughs. It's just when you start having complications with breathing, that's when you should go to a doctor. But I think people don't really take it seriously because they don't want to believe other people. You know what I mean? So like for myself, like at the beginning, I was just like, well, this is a common flu. Like it's not gonna do anything to anyone. We should just take our vitamin C and all of that. But then I think as the year progressed, like say June, July, I think then I started saying, okay, whoa, there's a lot of deaths happening. But I feel like we shouldn't always look at death, but we should also look at the amount of recoveries as well. Because if you compare the numbers, recoveries are actually quite high currently, especially in my country. But I feel like we should also just take into consideration, just take it really, really seriously. Because even now in this time, Christmas is coming up, and I just feel so sorry for the families who have lost family members, who don't have jobs, who don't have a salary, so they can't really enjoy the Christmas season. Some people, especially in South Africa, some don't even have homes because there were fires. Like there was one in a area in Cape Town, Fishhook. There was a fire and it kind of burnt down almost all the houses. So currently they are trying to help them with that right now through the pandemic. And I just feel so sorry because, not a lot of people take into consideration about the environment. Like in regards, for instance, smoking, people will just throw the cigarette and they don't really put it out. So that will obviously catch a flame and then it will cause a big fire. So I feel like people really take the small things seriously in order to prevent anything from happening in the future.
Yeah, but actually in history, this is not the first time that there's been a pandemic, right? For centuries, there were like the
Yes.
Spanish flu, the Black Plague, and so many pandemics going on. And coincidentally, it's happening every 100 years. If you notice the gap of each century,
Yes, definitely.
at the very beginning of each century, there's always a pandemic, and now it's happening
Something,
again.
yes.
So it's kind
Yeah.
of weird.
I mean, it's terrible, actually.
And actually, a year ago, I thought that maybe it's not gonna happen again, but then it just did, and it hit us
It
hard.
just did, yeah.
It's like a big slap on the face. Like here I am. My goodness, and it's really
Yes.
difficult.
And it came by with such, yes. And it just came by so fast. We only had 2 months within the year, and in March, all of a sudden, there's a huge pandemic on the rise. And I think everybody was just shocked at first. It's like, wait, there's a pandemic. Like, what's going on? Like I was very shocked. Staying at home for like a few months. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like it at all because I'm not used to staying inside my home every single day. I like the fresh air because I need oxygen. I need oxygen. It's like my sinus, and I'm like I need to open the window. I really don't get this point because there were times when my nose got so stuffy staying at home. But I think I managed and really did a lot throughout the time I was at home, planning for my campaign and planning and preparing for my program. And I think it really gave me enough time to do a lot. So,
All right. Thank you so much, Mariel, for backing me up on my hosting. And my internet is acting up like a lady right here. All right. Okay, my next question for you, Leandra. Let's go back to you. Since you are already 18 years old and you're on the road to being a young adult, how do you think, how helpful is it the pageantry are for the women like us? What do you think?
well, I think pageantry really, really helps us for confidence.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have types of stereotypes with pageants. They say it's only for women who are tall or who have long hair and who are
Yeah.
thin. But if we look at how pageant has evolved, it's actually now for everyone, and not just for short women or women with short hair, but we should also look at it as for women and males. And I think that's really, really nice how they just introduce the males into pageantry so they can also see, okay, wow, this is actually cool because it gives me a platform to talk about the things I feel most passionate about and that I can actually share to my country and soon the entire world. And I think it really shapes and molds us as females as well. It actually gives us the time to create change where we think it's impossible to create change. Even depending on our advocacy, for instance, with my health education, I got so many messages on my Instagram. It's like, you inspire me so much. Thank you for all the awareness that you spread. And really, I
Mm-hmm.
took that to heart because I didn't realize how much impact I've made, until all the messages start streaming in. And sometimes we don't realize how much change we are actually making with the smallest things that we actually do. So I think pageantry really opens that platform for us. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, we are able to create an impact no matter where. For instance, I also get messages from around the world. Like I got one from someone from Canada, and I'm like, wait, someone from Canada is watching my videos? Whoa! So I think that for me it was really, really cool that a lot of my awareness is also being pushed around the world as well. Especially my Her Story campaign with all my interviews because not a lot of people understand what a lot of people go through, and I think that with my pageant journey I could actually help them understand that, especially on a health aspect, especially through my interviews and what they can do as I give tips all the time. For instance, I was with a neurologist. We had an interview about mental health and how it affects us daily. And she actually gave us tips. And we were done with the interview. We were chatting off camera. And then my mom actually decided to record us again because the conversation was so deep. We were talking about, what were we talking about? Self-harm. We were talking about self-harm and why people cut themselves, for instance. And there's actually a lot that goes into it, and I didn't even understand because apparently when you cut yourself, it's a feeling that you need. If you can't feel love, then how are you going to feel it? So you cut yourself, and then that's how you feel. So that was very interesting for me, and I think it was very interesting for the audience as well because they were shocked themselves. So I think with my pageant journey, that really opened my platform for my advocacy.
All right. Thank you so much, Leandre. That was wonderful about you. And Mario, as an international queen. Oh, before I forget, I would like to ask this one, Leandre. Did you ever join any international beauty pageants before?
No, actually, this is my very first pageant, my first national pageant. I only got introduced to it last year. So I decided why not just take the risk and just do it and just have fun with it. So I'm really, really excited to see where my journey takes me.
Well, I wish you luck on your pageant journey since it's your first time. I'm so
Thank you
excited
so
for you,
much, Miya.
and you have my support all the
Thank
way.
you.
And
Oh, thank
actually,
you
when
so
I saw
much. Really appreciate it.
you're welcome. And actually, when I saw your platform, her story, I checked the people you've interviewed, and I said, "Oh wow, she has a lot of contact with these people, and the way she is interviewing them is so inspiring. So even me, I felt so inspired by you. So,
Yeah.
and it's wonderful that people like
Oh,
us, that even if
it
we're just teenagers, we're doing so much for this world. And I'm actually relating to what you're saying, that you're having this feeling of gratefulness because you're having an impact worldwide, and there are people who are seeing you from Canada. That's great as well, because
is.
when the pandemic started, so when this pandemic started, I actually felt a bit down because all of my plans got canceled. And then the first thought that came into my head was, how will I be able to inspire people? How will I reach out to them, since there will no longer be an in-person engagements? I really felt sad. And for a few weeks, I thought to myself, what am I gonna do now? What's the next thing? And then from March to April, I was adjusting to the online world, the virtual reign. And that's what I did. I'm like, you know what? Since I have no control over this, might as well just control what I can, which is social media and my platform. And
Yeah.
throughout the years, I'm just so happy to get to know women like you, get a chance to be friends with other sister queens around the world, and reach out to so many people in a span of 1 year, even if I'm just, mostly indoors. The
And
best.
actually, we can do this kind of live someday if you guys are ever free. And we can invite more people like Leandre and Marielle here on Primo Modelo TV. And I'm so excited to know more about this young lady. And now, even in the virtual world, they manage to spread their words, the influence, and also the good words and messages to all the people, especially the young people out there, right? Anyway, I would also want to go back again on my question, which is being caught by my internet connection attitude. All right. Okay, Leandra, I would like to ask you this one. Do you have any plans to join international pageants someday?
Excuse me?
Do you have any plans to join any international pageant someday?
Yes, I actually do. It's gonna sound wild, but I actually want to do Miss South Africa. I'm still thinking about it, and
Wow.
hopefully go to the Miss Universe platform. I think that's almost
Mhm.
every girl's dream, and why not
Yes.
take on the dream and just try to fulfill it best as you can.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I think there's more international pageants. Maybe like there's I think something called Junior Miss here in South Africa. It goes over to an international platform as well. And there's also Miss Teen World South Africa. So they actually opened their entries. They recently opened their entries now till next year. So maybe I might
Wow.
also participate in that one. We never know.
Wow, we'll totally support you on that if ever you go join those kind of pageants, right, Marielle? I'm really excited to see you do the ramp on the stage. And anyway, since Marielle is an international teen beauty queen, and it's about 2 more months to go before it's her final turn over her crown for the next Little and Teen Glam International. Marielle, what message would you like to give to Leandre if ever she joins some other international pageants that supports advocacy and empowerment to all children and women and men out there?
Well, for me, all I could say to you is just enjoy every single event in your entire pageant career, because it will not happen again, because there are things in life that will not repeat itself twice, such as the pageants, because once the competition is done, it's over, and next year there will be a new batch of women and men to compete. So while you are still there in your platform, in your advocacy as a candidate, make the most out of it, and also be friends with your co-candidates, bond with them, make
Yeah.
memories, and also do not forget your advocacy. Always carry your advocacy with you, because it is your core. And Never forget that you're doing this for a purpose, that this is your mission, and do everything from the heart.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Marielle. That was wonderful message. And also, this not also goes to Leandre. I hope people who are watching today with us, staying tuned with us tonight here in the Philippines and the afternoon in South Africa and all over the world, whoever who wants to join or is currently a beauty queen or pageant king, I hope you heard Marielle's message and hope you be inspired and also serves as an inspiration to pursue your dream and what you really want to do in the future. And one of our netizens says Jillian Cloete. I guess I don't know if it's right, but Jillian Cloete, our Miss Teen SA. Wow, really supports you there. And Javi Cloete says, "Hey Leandre Matthews, we so proud of you. Love from the Cloetes. Hashtag proudly South African. Hashtag Miss Teen SA." Wow. Hello to all the people in South Africa. How do you greet in your language? Like good afternoon, everyone.
Well, we are mainly English here in South Africa, but we also have 11 languages. Sadly, I'm not as
Oh,
fluent as in the other 11 languages, but I am fluent in Afrikaans. So that's a language
Yeah.
we speak here in South Africa. So if you were to say good
Mhm.
morning in Afrikaans, you would say goeiemorgen. It goes the same
Wow.
good morning and good afternoon, but if you want to say good night, then you say goeienaand, or good evening, good night. So
Wow.
it's the same thing. Yeah.
oh,
But
Wow. I
yes,
like the
for me,
language.
Afrikaans. To be honest, Afrikaans is not a difficult language to learn if you continue to practice over and over and over, and just focus on your vocabulary and how to pronounce the words. You will be fine. I promise you. Yeah, because I know,
Wow.
like when I was in high school last year, when I was in high
Yeah.
school last year, mean, if you have to compare my marks with Afrikaans and English, somehow my Afrikaans mark was always higher than my
Hmm.
English mark for some reason. But I think it's because I have such a huge interest in language that, I put more of my concentration on another language other than my own home language. And also because my parents are Afrikaans, and also my entire family is Afrikaans. I think it's just myself and my brother that are English because we were brought up in Cape Town, and not where my parents were born. So, but I'm able to speak Afrikaans. My brother's just he kind of can speak, but he's a bit shy when he speaks in Afrikaans. But I think Afrikaans is a beautiful language as well. So you
Yeah.
guys should maybe learn it.
Yeah, sure. I would probably would like to learn as well. Like basic ones. I have so lot of many friends in South Africa, and all of you people are really nice, humble, and funny, and also at the same time, you are all fantastically beautiful, and that's what I really want with the African people, especially in the South Africa. It's a multicultural and country, right? Anyway, let's
Yes.
go back to the topic. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Guess you're having some connectivity issues. But just so we don't have a long pause and silence, I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in today's interview. And just obviously, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it. And I know there's a lot of people from around the world who are watching. So once again, thank you so much for listening to me, as well as to Marielle and Miya. Yeah, so I'm so excited for my journey. We're just waiting till they come back on.
All right, guys, I'm back again, and I hate this internet unstable connection. It has an attitude.
No
I'm
problem.
really sorry, Leandra. Here in the Philippines, it's really hard to connect with the internet because mostly here in the Philippines, people are at home in this kind of times. But I don't know what happened. Maybe because of the weather. But anyway, let's go back to you. And we're nearly in the edge of this live episode. And before we go off, I want to ask one more question to you while we're waiting with Marielle. Okay, so of all the languages that you've studied, what language?
Oh, she's gone again.
All right, let me repeat the question.
But I think she's asking, out of all the languages that you have learned, which one was the best or has the most impact to you?
I think the most favorable language I learned was definitely Portuguese. Because with Spanish and Dutch and the French, all those languages, I had to learn all myself, or I just learned the basics from someone else. But then with Portuguese, I actually had a teacher to teach me. So it was person to person. So I think I really, really enjoyed it that way. And I could also learn with other students as well, and I made a lot of good friends in that group of friends as well. And I think Portuguese is a really really fun language to learn because within the language, my teacher also introduced us to the foods as well. She actually introduced me to a dessert called pastéis de nata. So it's a custard tart, and I'm absolutely in love with it. And I always ask her, when are you gonna bring some? When are you gonna bring some? And she's like, no, it's so expensive. But I think Portuguese is a very, very beautiful language as well. I would say it's a little bit tricky to learn with like your past, present, and your tenses. But I think if you keep practicing over and over and over, you will get the hang of it. I'm not as fluent in it yet, but I am able to read it and write it. But like speaking wise, like just like out in general, I think it's a little bit difficult because you have to put things to yourself and instead of having a piece of paper in front of you. So, but when I read it, I'm absolutely fluent when I read it because I usually focus more on my pronunciation than anything else before I actually learn the actual translation. Because if I get the hang of how the word is actually pronounced, then I know I'm at least saying the right thing. Because in a language, if you say the word wrong or if you pronounce it incorrectly, it might mean something else. So I always keep that in mind and learn the pronunciation first and then the basics. And yeah, like I already told you with the language German, how to learn the language first. Is it just me again?
Well, you're actually the first beauty queen that I've come to know who can speak many languages, and that's great. You're actually the first one.
But
Like, oh my gosh, like she can speak a lot of languages. And while me, I can only speak English and Filipino, Tagalog.
yes.
And I feel a bit guilty because my grandfather is Spanish and my mom knows how to speak Spanish, but I do not know how because I grew up in the city.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So can you speak
So
a bit of Spanish?
what?
Can you speak a bit of Spanish?
I can only understand a few, but I know that my mom can. And a few years ago, she went to Spain for a business trip, and she doesn't need a translator because she can understand the people there and she can speak back.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
always a good thing when you go to another country.
yeah. So I thought maybe in the future I'm gonna try to learn Spanish. I
But
will
how about
try.
you, Mariel? What if you're going to choose language that you'd like to study? Which language would you like to learn?
I want to learn how to speak in Spanish because
Really?
it is in our bloodline. It's in our bloodline actually. My grandfather is Spanish, and my mom she knows how to speak Spanish words. And while me, I'm not that fluent at all because I grew up in the city. And when you are in Metro Manila, the language is basically English and Tagalog.
Yeah.
So that's the environment I grew up in. But hopefully, I'll be able to learn Spanish in a few years after college.
Yes, all right. And also, if I'm going to be asked, actually, I've already started to learn when I was 10 Korean, Russian, Turkish, and already forgot the German because it was still, I was still a little kid before. But now, if you're not practicing learning that language like you use it every day, you basically forget it sometimes, right? But it's nice to learn sometimes, like it's a practice for your brain, like an exercise, mental exercise. Yeah. Anyway, guys, before we go off the screen, time check. It's 8:50 p.m. here in Manila, Philippines. Good evening, everyone, to all who are watching here on Primo Modelo TV. Now we are live on our YouTube channel, Primo Modelo TV, and our official Facebook page, Primo Modelo TV. Thank you so much to all who are supporting. God bless you all. Anyway, Marielle and Leandre, what message would you like to give to all aspiring youth influencers, international beauty queens, pageant kings who are the same age as you, who are pursuing the career that they want? So, first of you, Leandre, what message would you like to give them today?
Okay, so my message I would like to give to the youth and to young girls from around the world is just to be yourself no matter what. It's important to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, there's no point in going out in the world and discovering it through other people. I believe that the youth is so pressured to be perfect, and I believe that we shouldn't really feel that way. You know, we obviously want to reach a lot of standards, and also standards that others tell us to reach. So I think mainly with being yourself and just loving who you are unconditionally. And also to know what's happening in your country and just to be aware of the things, especially with the pandemic. I would like for you all to take it seriously because you know a lot of things are being cancelled. The economy might shut down again, or schools might
Yeah.
close. So I think if we
Mhm.
all work together, we can all make a change around the entire world. And also just have fun with life as well. Just enjoy it, and enjoy every moment you live throughout.
Okay. So for mine, to all aspiring beauty queens and kings, whoever you are out there from around the world, all I can say to you is never give up on your dreams, no matter what happens in your life. And based on experience, you will encounter a lot of obstacles and challenges. And pageantry is also a mental challenge as well because there will be people who will go against you. Not everyone will agree with you, and be ready for any disagreements or any issues that you will encounter. Just be ready for it. But in the end, be hopeful that it will be over. And once it's over, you'll become a better version of yourself. And if you are encountering, let's say, haters or bashers or people who would try to bring you down, do not take that too seriously. It's okay to acknowledge it, but at the same time, You can tell to yourself that I can take this criticism and turn it into something positive. So instead of thinking of it as something to bring you down, use it to lift yourself up. Use it as a challenge. Like, think of it as a way for you to improve yourself more. And now that you're a beauty queen or king, all I could say to you is enjoy every single bit of your journey and make sure that you will carry your advocacy with you because you will inspire and empower other people, which is the main purpose of this platform. And as 2021 approaches, keep on doing what you're doing. If you have an online platform such as hers, like her story, keep on doing that. Keep on reaching out to people. And that's what we're doing right now, basically through social media. And I hope that through our story, through our journey, I hope that each and every one of you will learn something from us that even while we are here in this pandemic, we can still do so much and we can still contribute to the world and society. That's all I could say.
Now, I always
It's a
like to
clear.
add, with my entire campaign called Overcomer, I think my campaign really helps the youth throughout school as well. Aside from health, I've gone to schools, wouldn't say like schools that are privileged, but schools that are underprivileged. For instance, they don't really have much resources. So, when going to those schools and just explaining to them what an overcomer really means, I think it's really, really important for the youth to know what it means. A lot of us, we face a lot of challenges and it's normal. Everybody will go through a challenge. So just being able to know and grasp the tips on how to overcome situations like fear or bullying or our own insecurities. For instance, when I currently have scoliosis, so I have a skewed spine. So when I first found out, I actually bullied myself because in my head, I was like, I'm not beautiful, my hips are skewed, so the girls are going to make fun of me. But no one actually did. So technically, I ended up bullying myself and just telling myself that, I'm not worth for this world. And I think from then, I used that as part of my campaign to explain to girls, yes, we might have something that we don't really, really like, but it's who we are, and that's actually what makes us unique. And that's how I actually overcame, by just remembering that I am unique. I don't have to look like the person next to me, because otherwise, what would the goal be if we all look the same and act the same? So
On point.
I think it's very important to overcome certain challenges and then taking the lessons you've learned and teach it to other people or the youth in general. And just tell them that, I went through this as well, I can help you. Or I went through this, let me tell you how I overcame, and maybe they can take something out of it. Because I believe our stories will be part of someone else's survival guide. So I think it's very, very important, with my campaign, I make sure I always touch on that. And I just make sure that, a lot of kids, especially here in South Africa, a lot of kids, they tend to drop out of school because either the workload is difficult or they don't understand what's going on at school or anything like that. And if you are ever thinking of that, please don't do it. We always struggle, even if you fail the year. Just continue. Everything happens for a reason, and you should just push on and just maybe study harder. And just, know that you will progress to the next grade, and it will be easier as you go along if you stay positive within your mind.
That's true. I completely agree. And I just want to say, in addition, Merry Christmas. In a few days, it will be December 25th. And next week is a brand new year, 2021. Do you have any holiday traditions?
Any?
Do you have any holiday traditions? Like for Christmas, do you do something every year, like with your family or friends?
Well, we used to do it, but I'm not too sure how it's going to work with the pandemic on the rise. But I know after Christmas, on the 26th of December, we'd usually go out and we'd prepare food for the homeless and we would hand it out to the homeless like around Cape Town. So I'm not so sure if we'll be doing it this year, but I think it would be lovely. And I think if I talk to my mom about it, I think she will agree and just do it again because, it's fulfilling for them as well because, a lot of people, they don't have food. And I think it's amazing just to give, even in the season with Christmas approaching. And, when I did, my mom actually introduced it to me from a very young age, the act of giving. And every time we would go around Cape Town and give the homeless maybe a sandwich or maybe a little container with food, their eyes, maybe they start crying or they start thanking you like maybe 10 times because they are so grateful. And I think for the audience listening today, instead of buying presents for your family, instead maybe teach your children or teach your brothers and sisters, maybe instead of buying presents, buy something for someone who doesn't have, or maybe buy some or make food for the homeless, for instance, like we will be doing. I think it would really create a huge impact, and it actually shows how much you care for your people in your country and maybe the entire world. And I think it's very important to give in this time because, that's what Christmas is all about, the act of giving. And I think, if we learn the youth about that, I think our whole conception about Christmas will really change. And I think everybody will just start giving and giving and giving, and we'll just make the world go round.
That's wonderful. So, what are you looking forward to in the new year?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to starting university. It's obviously going to be very new for me. It's going to be a new environment, but I'm really, really excited just to meet everyone and just to grow as well in 2021. A lot has happened in this year, and I'm ready to take the lessons I've learned in 2020 and apply it in 2021.
Yeah, so has something changed within yourself because of this pandemic?
Definitely, and I think it's also with the pandemic and the pageants. So obviously, instead of going out, I'd be at home doing videos for my social media as part of my pageant, my advocacy. To be honest, when I was in primary school, I had a lot of stage fright. I didn't have confidence at all. I didn't like to speak in front of people, even if it was just like an audience of 5 people. I'd get so nervous, and I remember I cried in front of my class when we just had to talk about the tortoise and the hare, and I really felt embarrassed about it. But I think now that I've grown up into a woman and now through this pandemic and the pageant, I think I've really gotten the grasp of my stage fright and I've really tackled that and I'm able to speak out. I'm also surprised myself how I'm able to speak to a big audience. And sometimes in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I went through a situation with stage fright, but now that I'm able to overcome it, I'm actually able to teach others how to do the same. And I think that's also why I want to become a speech language and hearing therapist. Because a lot of kids actually went through the same thing I went through. When they have speech impairments, they have stage fright, they don't want to talk in front of other people. So myself just helping them through that and just telling them, what, I went through those things as well. I can help you as well. And I think, now that I don't have stage fright anymore and that I'm able to speak to people, I think it really benefits for me through the pageant because I'm able to use that as part of my advocacy.
I agree because actually I myself have been through that. I was very afraid to speak up back then because when I was a kid, I had a tendency to stutter. In every sentence that I say, I end up stuttering or I kept on repeating some words, and that prevented me from speaking out because I was afraid that I might stutter again. And I carried that with me for so many years. And when I joined my first pageant, and during the Q&A or interview, in my mind, I'm also thinking the same thing that I might stutter or what if I repeat a few phrases again. And that hindered me from showing my potential or what I really want to say to people because I was so afraid. But then, thanks to the training, thanks to the people who believed in me, I thought to myself that maybe I can do it. I can actually have the capability to speak out. And because of pageantry, because of this platform, I was able to improve myself and eventually overcome this fear. And because of this year, 2020, most of my engagements are interviews or live chats. So I get to practice my skills in communication from time to time. And it's great because I'm no longer stuttering and I'm finally able to get over that fear. So if there are people who are also afraid to speak up, for example, back then, I just want to tell you that you can get through anything, work hard for it, and just believe that you're meant for greater and bigger things in life. And do not let anyone or anything stop you from getting to where you're headed or where you needed to be. Just keep on believing.
All right. That was wonderful, Marielle, and I hope Leandre would get some inspiring message of that of you, Marielle. And also, we are looking forward to see more of you, Leandre, in your upcoming
Yeah.
years, in your upcoming plans and journey. We will support you. Don't forget that. Even though
Thank you so much.
we only met in virtual, don't worry. Maybe sometime, someday, we'll get to meet each other in person also. I'm really praying on that. Can't wait to do this live episode in actual, the three of us. All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Leandre Matthews from South Africa. That is the Miss Teenager South Africa 2020 finalist. And together with my co-host, Mariel Prion, the Miss Teen Glam International 2020, and the reigning queen for the Miss Teen Glam Philippines 2019. Congratulations to the both of you, and thank you so much for coming by here on Primo Modelo TV for being our special guest. And that was a wonderful live episode today, despite of my internet connection background. Anyway, guys, do you still want to have a message to everyone who are watching today, especially to all the people who are supporting you? Like Leandre, do you want to support anything? You can now promote
Um,
your messages.
yes. So I would really like you guys to follow my Instagram page, as well as my Facebook page. So my Facebook page is just say her story, hashtag arise and shine. And then also with my Instagram account, you can just say Lee Shorty. So it's Lee underscore Shorty underscore. With the IE for shorty. And then I really hope to engage with more of the audience who are watching today. You guys can ask me questions on my account as well. I'm always there to answer all your questions. And then also, thank you to all who watched today. Thank you so much for all the support and love I receive daily from everyone, especially with voting that's going to end soon. So you guys can also find the link to vote for me if you like. It will be in my bio, my Instagram and my Facebook. And yeah, just have a lovely day and remember to stay positive, stay healthy, and stay safe.
All right. Thank you so much, Leandre Matthews and Marielle. Would you like to thank anyone today before we go off the screen?
First of all, I would like to give thanks to Leandre for being with us tonight. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to do this live interview with us. And to my families and friends and supporters, thank you so much for all your love for the entire year. I know that my reign has been virtual, online mostly, but I still thank each and every one of you for your support. And to Glam Pageant Organization, to Primo Modelo Philippines, thank you so much for your support as well, for being there with me and for always sharing my activities online. And also to all the candidates of Little and Teen Grand Philippines 2020. Coronation Night is 8 days away. I wish you all the best, good luck, and I hope that even if your journey is entirely virtual, I hope that all of you have made memories together and that you're all staying in touch. And I wish you all good luck. The future Miss Teen Grand Philippines. I cannot wait to welcome you to the sisterhood. So yeah, Thank you all so much for this, and I hope that next year we can all meet again virtually for this chat. And all right, Merry Christmas, everyone,
Yes, Merry Christmas.
and a Happy New Year.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mariel and Leandre. And I know, please bear with us if I'm having a little bit of problems with my internet connection, guys. And I hope you hear me out here on Primo Modelo TV. Once again, my name is Miya Gusi, and I'm together with these two beautiful queens out there, Mariel Prion and Leandre Matthews from South Africa. And good night, everyone. God bless you all. See you again. Bye.
I'm